This is the Vent Time with Connie podcast, where we discuss topics that can be controversial or uncontroversial. Topics range from family, faith, lifestyle, you name it. No topic is off limits. New episodes released every Tuesday and Friday. All right, sit back and relax. Here is your host of the show, Connie.
Hello everyone, welcome to Vent Time with Connie podcast. I'm your host Connie. Welcome to a new episode. Welcome back, old listeners and new listeners. Thank you so much for your continuous support. I want to know, do you guys like the last joke that I cracked this past episode? Do you guys like it? Was it bad? Was it really that bad? Well, if you're a new listener, and this is your first time ever listen to any episode of Vent Time with Connie podcast, you probably would know what I'm talking about. Make sure you listen to the previous episode, because on the previous episode I tried to crack a joke. I attempted to crack a joke, so I don't think I really succeeded in that. You guys probably will find me very corny or cheesy or whatnot. I don't know. I don't think you guys really like it. But anyhow, it doesn't hurt to try. Okay, guys, welcome to a new episode. Are you feeling pressure to conform to something you clearly are not, but due to the privileges that comes with that, you are considering giving up on who you are? Are you living a borrowed life, or do you know someone that is? Well, if you can relate with these questions that I mentioned, then you might want to stick around to hear the rest of this episode. Alright, keep on listening. Okay, guys, welcome to a new episode. So today's episode, as you can tell by the title, is called Borrowed Lifestyle. Borrowed lifestyle is basically when you are trying to live a fake life or a lie. There's no need to put any big grammar to it. It's just what it is. It's just basically living a fake lifestyle that is not who you are, that doesn't show who you are. Okay, so this borrowed lifestyle can be seen in different areas. It can be seen in our regular life. You can be seen with people that you know on a regular basis, can be seen on TV, can be seen so many places, okay? And it can be seen in churches too, because there's some people that fake being a Christian while they're not Christian, living a lie in the public, but in private, that's not who they are, right? You always hear this saying, fake it till you make it. I hate that saying because I don't think you have to fake it till you make it. So when you make it, what does that mean? You just go back to who you used to be? I don't know, but I don't really like that saying. I think it should be modified. And I know people use this other phrase too. Fake it till you become it, because you want to walk towards something. Like, for instance, if you're not a friendly person and you started working on being friendly, probably the first time that you're working on being friendly, it didn't come easy, so you probably feel like you were faking it because that's not who you are, right? But you really want to be friendly because the nature of your job require you to be a very friendly person, be a people person. That means you have to have a people skills, okay? So if you don't really have it that moment, you have to sometimes fake it, act like you have it, so you can become it. So that's what I believe in, more of fake it till you become it than fake it till you make it. Because when you make it, what does that mean? You're gonna go back to your normal life? So I don't really like that. So this saying actually brought me to the topic of today. The borrowed lifestyle is something that happens every day. And why people do this? Why do people want to fake it? Why do people want to live a lie? The number one thing is the pressure to belong. As a human being, right? As humans, we want to belong in something. We try to create a niche for ourselves, especially when you're an adult and you're trying to create either a business, or you want to do something with your life, you want to be part of a society, because it happens to everybody. When growing up or whatnot, you want to belong to something. You want to belong to either organization or a church or a school or a group of friends or anything, right? So that you feel like you're part of the society, you're part of something. So we all want to create a niche for ourselves. And that's why when we have that desire to belong to somewhere, to something, can sometimes put you under pressure. For instance, in this day and age, this social media generation, where everything happens on social media, people make money off of social media. So you see a lot of influencers, social media influencers. So a lot of people now want to be an influencer so they can make money online fast or not, make money fast. So they want to be like influencers because they have influencers as their role models. So they want to emulate their role models. So they are striving to be there. So sometimes that comes people being pressured to do what they don't want to do, to go out of character, and living a fake life, basically acting like they are rich on social media while they're actually poor in real life. And that's where it becomes very detrimental, when you're trying to live a life that that's not you. Okay. And also Instagram models, let's talk about that. Instagram models, the big thing now. Everybody on Instagram is an Instagram model, as far as you know how to take the best pictures, the best angle and all those things, you will be an Instagram model. So a lot of people are gearing towards it now, that it will some people will do anything to get that best picture. You see some women or even guys too, they'll just dress up and go find a nice location to take the best picture so they can post it on Instagram. People do this for a living. They'll take out the time out of their day to do these things. People will go buy some outfit that they know they cannot afford, buy it, take the picture, and then return the outfit back, okay? Because they wanted to, keep on this persona, this online persona, so they want to do anything to make sure they maintain that persona. So if you will require them to spend the last money in their account to buy their clothing or the handbag or the whatnot, the wristwatch or the shoes or whatnot, so they can take that best picture. So when they post it online, people will think they still got it. Why they don't got it, So people can do anything for these things. So also you can be seeing our celebrities, right? The celebs, like especially the one hit wonder artists that release the best song and you never heard about them. Some of them sometimes will do anything to stay relevant. You heard these stories of Bow Wow where he take picture beside a helicopter or something, private jet, and he act like he's his own private jet. But come to find out, I think someone busted him out in what was that famous Instagram, the Shade Room or something, that posted it. I don't know. You can correct me if I'm wrong. So he was busted out. So they found out that it wasn't his. He was basically faking it. I think someone that has that private jet called him out. I think that's how it happened. It also happened a lot in the celebrity people, right? Because they're trying to maintain this relevancy, so you can still think they got it. You can still think they're celebs, they are rich, they have money in the bank. Why they don't? Because it probably has to do with the music they last released. They're not really getting money anymore. They are not staying afloat. So they want to do anything now. They start trying, posting nice pictures on Instagram. So people will start, talking about them. And also when it comes to being a YouTuber, YouTuber is a big thing now in today's society. Everyone wants to be a YouTuber, which is there's nothing wrong with that. Since YouTube is now saturated, there's a lot of people out there that have YouTube channel. So the viewers have so many options. So now these days, people that are YouTubers are doing anything, putting up content, sometimes doing all these crazy challenges. Or some of them would say they're not into dressing, showing your body and other stuff. Then in next year or two, when they see that they're not getting views, they start contradicting themselves. So they can get views. People are doing all these crazy challenges. People are getting their relationship on YouTube just so they can get viewers. Which is crazy because some of them that actually contribute to the end of their relationship or their marriages. So this pressure is real. Okay, a lot of people go through this. And for example, even when we're going back to our real life too, people we might know, you see people that probably, for instance, live in an apartment. They have the nicest car, the latest car in the country or whatnot. They're driving the latest car, but they live in an apartment, which there's nothing wrong with living in an apartment, but look at it, it's priorities. Okay. And then even the worst one is when those that you see that they have the nicest phone, they have the latest iPhone, right? But they couldn't afford to pay their rent, they couldn't afford to feed themselves, but they have the nicest iPhones, they have the nicest car, basically. And you see their outfits, oh my gosh, they have the latest fashion in town. They make it their priorities to buy the latest fashion, but they couldn't afford the necessities, which is shelter and food. You see what I'm talking about? What are your priorities? This borrow lifestyle can be seen different ways.
Hey there! If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. Duh, that's why I'm using it. There's a creation tool that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Now, take out your phone, download the Anchor app, or go to your computer and type in this anchor.fm to get started. Let me repeat that. Download the app, Anchor app, or you go to the computer and search for anchor.fm to get started. Let's do this.
Okay, like for example, podcasting, right? Podcasting, not a lot of people know this podcast, especially black people. I'm black, especially Nigerians, Africans, whatnot. Not a lot of people know it. And I know also I felt this pressure in my life, like being a podcaster, where you see that you're not getting a lot of listeners. I'm not getting a lot of listeners on some week or something. Sometimes you listen to others that have that high traction in the podcast. A lot of people listen to it. Those that are popular, you start listening to those. Like, maybe I should say these things they are saying. Maybe I should act like this and create this persona that they have, this similar persona they have. So that I can get more listeners. So I felt that pressure too. I was like, maybe I need to speak this certain way. Maybe I need to act this certain way. Maybe I need to stop talking about faith, talking about God, talk about the most popular stuff in the world, popular culture, stuff like that. I agree in what most people agree on, basically going contrary to my belief, right? So I can belong, so I can be part of the cool ones, so a lot of people will listen to me. So everybody goes through this pressure to belong. Everybody have experienced it in their life some way or the other. It just depends on how you react to it. That one is very important. Okay. And this pressure to belong to can push you to do so many, like I've already said, push you to do things that you will not normally do, things that you will not do if you weren't pressured. Okay, like things that's out of character. And when this pressure start rising, when you are pushed to do these things, maybe for those, especially if you're an influencer, you're a social media influencer, trying to sell business online or something, your Instagram or your social media account is where you draw your leads. That's where you draw most of your customers or your listeners or your audience. Now you wanting to make sure you appeal to them, and some people do the sexual appeal. Some people start posting very, revealing pictures that they would normally not do. This is not them, not those that like them. I'm talking about those that this is not your thing. You don't want to do this. Doing this is basically going out of character for you. But since you want this audience, since you want this traction in your field or whatnot, in your social media account, you want a lot of people to see it, to click likes. Oh my God, let's talk about the likes on Instagram. People can do anything for likes and follows on Instagram, right? So people would post the craziest picture or do the craziest thing, especially in this pandemic. A lot of people are creating dramas online, posting all these crazy pictures online so they can go viral. So people would start talking about them because once they go viral, that's what a lot of people will know about their page, and it will lead to a lot of followers and likes, and they will become popular. So people will do anything for fame and popularity. And this pressure to belong shouldn't be taken lightly. So don't think that you are excluded from this. It can happen to you. It can happen to all of us. Okay, so it's just about you being, very conscious about it. Knowing that it do happen, being aware about it, and then taking the proper steps. Whenever you feel that pressure to belong. And that brings me to my next point, which is, where do you draw the line? I already stated it that everybody do experience this. Everybody do experience, this pressure to belong, this pressure to be the coolest person, this pressure to be the highest follower on Instagram, the highest likes, having the highest views on YouTube, or the highest listener on podcasts or whatnot, having the highest leads on your business, right? So this pressure comes in different forms, right? But how do you draw the line? In one way that you can draw the line is knowing when not to confirm. Okay, because your goal is to improve in your business, to get more traffic in your business, how would you do that? If it will require you losing who you are, then you need to make sure you think about it twice, okay? And I think when this happens, when this pressure is coming to you, make sure you remind yourself of your core value or moral, right? And for me as a podcaster, when this pressure comes to me, oh my gosh, you are not the best, when it comes to English is not my first language. We all know it, right? Other podcasters that are listed, they're very good. Their diction is good. Everything is perfect, right? Not perfect, but you get my drift. But feeling that pressure that I'm not part of them. I wasn't born here in the United States, how would I fit in? Especially in this podcast world, my people don't really know about this podcast. I have to even bring it to them. Like whenever I talk to them about podcasting, they'll say, "What do you mean? What is that?" I have to literally, lecture them what that means. But for me, when I feel this pressure that I'm not belonging, like, oh my gosh, I'm not part of the crew, I'm not the coolest. For me, what I do is remind myself who I am, right? Which is my core values. What do I stand for? What do I believe in? And the most important thing is whose I am, which is the daughter of Zion. I'm the daughter of light, not darkness. Okay. When you are walking in light, when you're a daughter of Zion, when you're a child of God, things don't come easy. Okay. You might not be the coolest person. The world might hate you. Some people might hate you, probably a lot of people, because in the Bible, Jesus even said it. If you love me, carry your cross, okay? Because it takes a lot. It's not easy. It's not gonna come easy. When you realizing who you are, your value, and know that you are heading somewhere, you know that you have a goal, then those things will kind of remind you, okay, not to conform to everything you see. Don't lose yourself in the process. Make you to still maintain who you are when you are going through this whole phase in your life, when you are trying to make it in your business, on the social media and the YouTube, and everything, so that will keep you grounded, okay? And I know the struggle is real. The struggle is real. It happens to every one of us. But for anyone that's going through it, that you feel like you are not belonging, you are not part of the crew, like you cannot make it, maybe because of you don't speak the best English, or maybe you don't have the best outfit, or you don't have the highest followers, or the likes, or the views, or the listeners, or whatnot, right? But just know this, that life is a process. You don't get rich overnight. It takes a while. Well, your goal should be to be wealthy, not rich, because rich can fade. But your goal is to be wealthy. So, but to be wealthy in this world, it takes a process. It takes a while. It's not something that will happen just like that. Even those your role models, biggest influencers you see, the YouTubers or whatnot, if you hear their story, if you listen to their story carefully, you will know that they went through it. It wasn't something that just happened for them. It took a while and it required patience and consistency. Those things are key, okay? Make sure you have those things. And when you are encountering this struggle, this pressure to confirm, make sure you remind yourself who you are and know this. Don't give up, okay? God is with you. Make sure you are very faithful to the living God that you're serving. Make sure you're faithful to your work, your dedication to the work, your consistency, your patience. Make sure you are focusing on that. Make sure that you are having those attributes. You are patient, you are consistent, and you keep pushing. Don't give up. There's light at the end of the tunnel for you, okay? So make sure you keep pushing. Well, before I end this, I want to end with a Bible verse that I feel like that resonate with me, especially has to do with this topic. I will read for you. So the first one would be John 15, verse 19. It says, if you were of the world would love you as its own. But because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. And another one that stick out to me is Romans chapter 12, verse 2. It says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. Okay, guys, make sure whenever you're going through this struggle, this pressure, go back to these Bible verses. And I'm sure there's a lot of Bible verses that can also motivate you, encourage you, inspire you to keep moving. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I know it's kind of long, but I hope you gain something from this. But that's always my goal. Thank you, and I'll talk to you guys more next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Vent Time with Connie podcast. Remember to subscribe on Apple Podcast, iTunes, Spotify, or whatever platform you listen to podcasts. Please don't forget to like, rate, review, or share this podcast. Do you have any feedback or questions for Connie, or any topics you'd like to discuss on the show? Connie loves communicating with our listeners. You can find her on Instagram and Facebook at Vent Time with Connie, or send an email to venttimewithconnie@yahoo.com. Until next time, remain blessed.